yes, I'm finally here to film the review of Hero at the Fall by Alan Hamilton. This has been a long time coming, but we're at the end of this review of the series, and I'm excited to talk about it because a lot of stuff went down in this book, like actually a lot. This wasn't as long as the last book, so it was very good to have like less pages and it was more squished in together, and it kind of really worked, and it was really like high stakes with it. But I'm excited to talk about the book. So again, there will be spoilers in this video review. I just have to talk about these things that happen, and also spoilers for book 1 and book 2. So if you haven't read those books, I have made a review for book 1 and a review for book 2 that you can go check out. I will link them down below if you want to know my thoughts about the first 2 books. So as I said, I finally reached the end of the line. I'm so glad that I can just be in with everyone when they want to talk about these books, and when people do talk about these books, I'm just sitting there like, what are they talking about? Like, it's not spoilers, but it's just good to know now. Like when people like allude to things, you're like, I know what that is. And like, I found this book to be good, but it wasn't as good as Traitor to the Throne, which was very odd because how many tropes were in the second book, and then for me to like it much more than the first and the third book. It was very odd for me, but still I enjoyed the book. But second book was the high point of the trilogy for me. It's funny because I'm just saying there at the start of my review it was action-packed, and then I looked at my notes where I'm going, oh, this book was so annoying because it was slow until page 330. What even? This is what happens when I write this review a long time ago and I don't look at my notes and I'm like, huh. Which actually makes sense. So like the last 170 pages of this book were really action-packed, but the first 330 pages were actually so slow. So I am going to say that this book was slow. That was one of the reasons why I wasn't a big fan. And I feel like the book could have been shortened by having not so much just walking along in the desert to the next desert, then walking to this village, and then walking in this village, and then walking there, and then doing this, and then flying for days, and flying for days, and flying for pages. And it's just like, mate, no one cares. Like, you can get rid of all that descriptive stuff and just have a story. I also feel like it took way too long to break Ahmed and the others out of the prison that they were in, which was like just a very long part of the story. So it was like not caught prisoner, but like other people are prisoned and they're in actually a really shit time for them. But still, it just took forever for them to get them out. But I mean, there's 4 of them against the whole army, so it's understandable, but still, you suck. So I really enjoyed Imani leading the rebellion for a time because she really didn't think that she could do it. And it was only after Ahmed came back that she actually realized that she missed it and she enjoyed it, and she would actually go to make decisions and then be like, but Ahmed's back, like the prince is back, like she has no purpose leading things anymore. And it was actually really sad for that because like she just the whole book didn't believe in herself, but when she got them out she really did see that she could win, like she could do things and save people and actually just do good. And I really liked at the end that Imani did become Ahmed's royal advisor so that she would be able to help with decisions because she did such a good job leading for a little bit there. And like really Imani was one of the key things that made this rebellion work and made them win and actually like get the sultan and kill that bitch. Like she was a key player, and to have her as an advisor was a really good thing. And like she really did have to make a lot of tough decisions in the book and had to pick between 2 really shit situations, and sometimes she might have picked wrong and made me upset. It's very understandable like how much weight she had on her shoulders, and it would have been so hard. Like, I just can't believe she let Hala and Sam both die. Like, both of them died. And there was 100 ways that she could have saved them, but she chose the easy option of, oh, that bitch can die. Like, no. It's so irritating when a death could have been prevented. Like, honestly, when they happen in a very good way, you feel sad, but it makes sense. But if it's a way that's preventable, it's just like, nah. She did kill Hala because when they got captured by the Sultan, Hala didn't want to be like a prisoner and she just wanted to be free, and the only way to free her would be to shoot her. But there were so many options before then because they went in to go save that girl. And I mean, really, who cares about the girl, man, when you killed one of your main, like, Dinjans? Like, so many Dinjans are dead now because of her decisions. She could have done something, like, she should have realized there was a bomb. She could have just sand bombed him. Like, she could have done anything, or Sam could have come in quicker. Like, it just, there were so many ways it could have been prevented, and it was really sad. But again, Hala was kind of a, like, really bad character after her sister Imani died. Like, she really wasn't a team player anymore, and she didn't care about things anymore. So it's kind of like she got the boot, was kind of where I was feeling with her death, and it just didn't make sense. Sam's pissed me off to no great deal though, because they literally could have saved him. Because like Sam literally didn't need to sacrifice sacrifice himself, because all that needed to happen was that Imani could have lifted Sam up to put him through the floor, because he can walk through stone walls and stone ceilings. So all she had to do was lift him, and then he had to just drag her up. And again, they could have also done it that he lifted Imani up and then she just dragged Sam up with her. Like, there was just an option to have him pull himself up or pull her through. Like, there was options. But all Sam did was like, I'm gonna push you through, Imani, because you need to make it. And then he went to go fight the things that can't be killed. Like, just there was a way. Don't even tell me there wasn't. There was a way. Especially mad too, because Shazad and Sam just literally like said that they loved each other and kissed, and then he died. Like, they were endgame. They were the one relationship that I was like, and like it just gets me so much, and I'm so upset about it. So I was really happy to see Norsham in this book, because he wasn't in Traitor to the Throne, and he came back in this book, and it was really funny to see all these people treating him like he was a god, and it was just like the funniest thing. And Imani's coming in like, what is going on here? I'm also really glad that there's like no hard feelings between Imani and Norsham. I mean, he did try to kill her though, like one time, because he's like, oh, the world shouldn't have you in it, Imani, because you're just gonna mess everything up. But other than that, they were pretty close. Norsham did save Imani when she was trying to get out of Ermont with the rest of the rebellion. It was lighting up the whole place. It was really good. And then he died. But then Zahar, if that's how you say his name, he saved Norsham, and he became this wall of fire protecting the prison to make sure like the big evil monster creature that they defeated a million years ago doesn't get out. So he had a really interesting purpose, because he has the fire abilities, and he was able to become this really powerful wall, and it was actually really a great part of the story. So as we were talking about Zahar, I just want to say that he was actually a really interesting character. He's a Dinjin, one of the actual gods, really. Like, he's not like what Imani is. He's like one of the people that wouldn't be a father to make Imani, and he has been trapped for like thousands of years because of his sins, and Imani frees him so that he can help. But you really have to be careful with Dinjan helping you, because they always kind of muddle up what you want them to do, make it out to be something that you really don't actually want. So she had to be very careful, and she did mess up a few times with him. And again, I really like the way that he would talk about the old stories and having his point of view about it, and of how he's the victim from everything, and how he loved the first being that they made, and finding out that it was a woman, not a man, and just like how he wanted to protect her. And like everyone, like there was the big battle about, oh, should we kill our mortal humans or let them live? And there's a big battle between everyone, and having him like as his character who helps but doesn't really, like, it was just like, he was probably one of my favorite characters in the book besides Sam. And just saying, at the end of the book, when Imani broke the ring that she was going to use to get all the Dinjin out, I was so mad, because she did it at a stupid time to stop a few of the bloody monsters. And it was like, oh, Imani, you had a way to save the whole entire kingdom, all the people, and yourself, and you broke it in 10 seconds because of this stupid thing. I was so like, you dumb bitch, like, what? But then you find out that that ring would have killed everyone anyway. Like, still, I'm mad about it, but it makes sense now that she didn't do it. Such a like, what? And I also really love that the Dinjin saved Imani when she released them, because she didn't have any protection. When you release the Dinjin that's been trapped, they let off this really big thing of like flame and fire, and they protected her. And then they're just like, oh, so you're gonna come in here to kill us, so we're gonna make you choose between Jin and Ahmed, and you have to let one of them die because we're saved you, but you're gonna live with some pain. I'm actually really glad that she decided not to save Jin, because Ahmed is so important, and like, who cares about your love story, honestly? Like, most people would save the one that they love, but you need to save the most important. Pick the lesser of two evils. And Jin's just like, you made the good choice, and Ahmed's like, no, not my brother, and he disappears, and then Jin gets stabbed. And then apparently Imani and Jin, when they had sex the first time, they actually got married because they said the word. So Imani died too, and it was like, well, that was just pointless. Ahada, who was Imani's dad, if that's how you say his name, decides to save them, and he brought them back because their love was just too strong. And like, just what a cliche though, to be like, oh, our love is so all-inspiring, powerful love, and we need to be saved to live on another day. Like, I was so horrified that they did this with this book, because I was like, no. Like, it just, no. I did love though in the moments after she came back to life that she had a real conversation with her dad and found out that he does actually really care about her, but because he has so many children, a blink of an eye is like 100 years. Like, he does remember his children, and the women that he does make the children with, he does remember them, but it's just because he has such a long existence, it's hard for him to be able to really connect because they die so frequently. So that's understandable. Like, she's there like, bitch don't even love me, and it's like, he's a god, what do you expect? So at the end of the book, obviously we won, the Sultan died, the army's gone, on, everyone's using their powers, we're all good. Imani doesn't have no hurt in her side anymore because her dad saved her. Jin's alive. Everyone made it. Not Sam. Not Sam, but everyone else made it. But I really liked the last chapter of the book and having like a preview of what happens with everyone, how Ahmed's a king for 10 years and then another person's a king for 10 years and there was another little rebellion and they squished it and then Shazad became king. Shira's son becomes king and it was so exciting, and like just how Imani's advisor and then they're all 50 and it's like what? But I just really liked that. Like it'd be good if most books just had like an epilogue that's just that really easy, like oh this is what's happening with the characters and they're all happy and it's all G. That's what I want, but books never do that. But I am so happy that I finally finished reading Hero of the Four. Like it was a long time trying to get this read, but I really enjoyed this. It was a fun desert fantasy and yeah, kind of sad, but I hope to see Alwyn Hamilton bring out some more books in the future and see what other stories she's going to tell, because I'm sure she will write more books because these were quite popular. But anyway guys, thanks for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you guys later. Bye!